Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus, guys, giving you more of the meta. So, guys, I want to go ahead and share with you a gameplay video of me actually not having the right playbooks on offense and defense. I'll show you the offense where I had to kind of ad lib. This is when the season reset for regs, and I ran into a guy that was breaking tackles and was just running the ball right down my throat. I had a hard time. I got a couple stops against this guy early on, and it was critical that that actually happened. So you're going to see me jump, trying to figure out basically what to do to stop this guy. I wasn't in my standard playbook. I like to actually use the Tennessee Titans. That's what I've been labbing. When I do set up my audibles, I always base align. That's one of the adjustments. Option defenses, I'm going to go ahead and do conservative, strip ball conservative, and then the other adjustment essentially that I'm going to do is conservative on tackling. That's just my preference. You know, you guys can do whatever you want. I'd say that probably the only two adjustments that I typically always do is base align and then conservative on the quarterback, primarily because I don't want any kind of read options. Right here, I'm realizing that I don't have a 34 defense. I don't have my defensive setups. So now I'm kind of scrambling. I find basically that I've got the 61 defense. He comes out a pistol wing close. So I just figured I'm just going to run with cover 4, just blitz the hell out of him, see how he responds to it. So I found cover 4 quarters, and then I'm just going to blitz the house against this guy. Press the guys down with the anticipation that he might not hit me over the top. And I'm just going to go ahead and blitz the house against this guy. And he ends up being a runner that knows how to break tackles. You're going to see this running back just basically just breaking a ton of tackles. Now, I wanted to go ahead and make sure I set up a different defense. This is when the season renewed, and basically I'm in a playbook that didn't have my audible set up. So I do like to use nickel over as one of my base defenses. He basically shred this because he would just run the ball and he would get past my guys. But typically when I do set up my over defense, I have cover 9 as one of my audibles, and then basically Storm Brave. But because he was using very heavy sets, I'm going to go ahead and drop myself down to heavy sets myself. So back to this 61, 43 defense. Press the guys. Say, hey, if you want to beat me over the top, that's fine. One thing I was concerned about is I do have these guys. These guys are one-on-one. So an adjustment that I'll make just so he can't lob streak me over is I'm going to put these guys into deep thirds because they will fall back a lot better than quarters. Quarters has matching principles, and sometimes they'll get a little bit flat-footed. But I'm basically blitzing the house with the anticipation this guy is going to basically go ahead and pass the ball. But even after getting 4 yards, it goes a little off tackle run right there, and I get a nice little block shed. One of the few block sheds in this game to get him into a 39 situation. So I'm still setting up the rest of my defense right here. I like to go ahead and use out of the nickel over. I like to use the cover 3 hard flats. This is a defense that I use really when I see a lot of tight sets and I anticipate someone to run mesh against me. And then I'm going to go ahead and use palms. Palms is a defense that a lot of people just have a struggle with. They misread. I get a lot of turnovers of palms, and you'll see another gameplay where actually when I started jumping in palms against my opponent, he actually struggled with it. So he comes out a gun split slot offset, and I basically just go into my standard overlook. I'm going to bunch my guys up, put my linebackers in the middle. I'm going to go ahead and usually set this guy up. Let's see if I go ahead and man up my one guy. No, he goes with basic standard slants, and I actually get myself a nice little edge pressure, and he forces him to basically pump the ball off to me. So here's the next series against this guy. I actually go ahead and drive the ball down. Because I did get a turnover, I figured to go for 3 against this guy, and I think I'm getting the ball in the second half. So because of that, I decided to go ahead and settle for 3 points instead of risking not putting any points on the board. You got to always penalize your opponent if they don't do that. Right here, I shift my line off to the right. This is one of the adjustments that I wasn't doing pretty much throughout this entire game, but he's got the strength of formation off to the right. My job is gap responsibility, but you can see for some particular reason, this guy's offensive line was just manhandling me, and basically he was breaking tackles left and right. with his running back. This is not really the best running back in the game, but the way he played with this running back, they were lights out. Right here, he goes ahead and runs another play. I felt like it was play action, and I actually miscut it. That was just bad user by me, and you can see he breaks a tackle right there. So this guy was breaking a ton of tackles, getting a lot out of Robinson. Pressure once again, pulling guys down in the box. I'm trying to engage the center with the anticipation this guy would basically go ahead and pass the ball, and I want to get edge pressure off against this guy. He does a little motion off to the right and an outside pitch, and look at the leverage, look at the blocking. My guys are completely out of position. So this guy was just lighting me up with the run. I had a hard time stopping him. I don't know if I was in a different defense that this would be the same situation. I jumped into 5-2 right here. Basically, go ahead. Got myself a situation where I'm blitzing basically 7 guys. I've got the soft squat out here, and I've got this guy into deep half, so I know that if there's a streak or a comeback or some type of a route, that's pretty much taken care of. My responsibility playing defense right now is to look for any kind of crosser. Now, he can really cause me some problems if he streaks, flats, and maybe does a corner concept. That's going to blow this up. It's going to put me in a situation. My hope is that this blitz can get home against him so he doesn't have that opportunity. So right here, I send the blitz. Because he's been running so much, and you can see the pressure comes in, and I do not get the sack, but he does get an animation to get the ball out. So he was doing basically a shot, crosser type situation. So now he goes into basically the single back bunch tight end. It's a very popular formation. I went ahead. I don't think I had a defense set up. I'm anticipating this guy is going to run the ball, so I'm just going to go and shift the line off to the strength of formation. And what I do is I go ahead and take this guy and put him into a flat, because a lot of people, when they run this formation, they've got that one crossing route situation where they've got basically like kind of a mesh concept, and I want to take away the underneath route and just user all the crossing route over. But this guy was completely run first. So he actually does some type of an RP, like a RPO, reverse handoff. And look at the hole he gets. This guy was just destroying my defensive line. His blocking was just phenomenal. So now he jumps into basically goal line formation. I think I went with just basically overall blitz, and he still is able to go ahead and fall forward for a first down. So I just really could not stop this guy's run. Even with me shooting gaps and doing all blitzes to try to get in the backfield, he still was just having his way with the running game. Now he goes ahead and makes a quick audible. My anticipation is I can hit this guy with a blitz because he's actually making some audibles. You can see the pressure comes in and to get him out of field goal range. So now he's basically on the 41-yard line, out of field goal range. In this type of situation, you really can't settle for 3 or 4 yards. He does do a run play again on a 2nd and 19. I actually get in the backfield right there to tackle him for a no gainer. So a 3rd and 19 situation. This is what I do is I go ahead and switch it up. I just go with the outright blitz. I should be putting this guy into a 3rd because he couldn't get beat over the top. And I've got basically these guys are going to basically match. My responsibility is to mug and then look for anything crossing over the middle of the field. So right here, he's got a strength of formation. He does a run. And look at the broken tackles. This guy was just running the ball against me in situations. He just didn't run like he was doing that type of situation. He gets himself basically a 50-yard field goal. And he's able to go and plug it in right there. My hope is he was going to miss it because the new field goal settings are a little bit harder. That you have to really concentrate. I do make a mistake against this guy. I was in an offensive playbook that I have no scheme for, so I was literally trying to find plays, and I threw into his coverage, and he actually pick-sixed me to get the ball in the end zone. So now I'm behind the 8 ball against this guy. So I end up scoring, going up 1 point, and I'm in a type of situation where I need to get some type of a stop against this guy. So I just stay with cover 4 quarters. Blitz all. I'm actually going to use the safety to get another defender down in the box. He does this motion, and he's got an outside stretch play, but look at the blocking. These guys are just blocking the hell out of my dudes. I'm not getting off the blocks at all. He's able to go ahead and pick up a big run. So his running back Robinson was just destroying me. I had no answer for his run whatsoever. So I see he's got basically it off tackle. This guy is just sitting here. I don't know what he's doing. He must be checking his Facebook account or something, but he's not actually reacting to the ball. So something with this guy's run plays is just, he was just dumbing out my defenders. So right here, staying once again with cover 4, I chose to do a different defense. So I just went with an over 43 defense, and I didn't want these guys down to the boxes because I wanted to basically the linemen not to be able to react and let these guys go and fill the box. So because of the running lanes, I essentially did not want to do that. That was my responsibility. I think I clicked on a button right there because I was making adjustments, and he caught me clicking on my button, and that's why I didn't fall up and fill that hole. So you could see I'm actually in the over defense right now. Out of the 43, because I don't want my guys getting picked up by blocks. So I'm making some adjustments. I'm thinking of trying to go ahead and do the rolling defense and run cover 4 quarters against this guy to try to get my guys down in run fits. But I don't want to give up a lob streak with his outside receiver. I'm very conscious of this, so there is an issue with that. But you can see right here, I've got these guys at depth, so the linemen can't get hats on them and successfully block. So you can see right here, right there in that type of situation, I'm able to go ahead and bottle that up. But he falls forward for basically 4 yards. I get the guy at the line of scrimmage, and he was just chewing me up with this 26 duo inside zones. Just having a lot of success with it. So right here, I go ahead and stay with the same run. I'm going to shift my line over. My responsibility is to fill the gap. He does do an off tackle run, and you can see right here he still falls forward for 2 yards. So this guy was just very, very committed to actually doing basically the run. So now it is a 3rd and 4 situation. I'm going to go with basically a double mug. I haven't shown this to the entire game. I'd like to go ahead and pull this out in these type of situations. I'm going to be using, basically a cover 3 shell. I'm going to mug the guy over the middle, and you can see right here he throws right into my guy. So he actually tries to light me up with an RPO, and my dude actually picks him off, and I get the ball down into the other side. So I get a stop to go ahead and swing the tide of this gameplay. So I'm basically up 17-9. I need to get a stop against this guy, and essentially he's just destroying my run defense. He goes into the play I was showing to you guys earlier. I don't have this set up correctly, but you could see he's got this concept. He's got the swing, he's got the deep dig, and then he's got the drag underneath it. And because I didn't drop this guy into a flat, this area will be wide open. And that was just because I was so concerned about this guy's run that I started getting out of my pass defenses with what he was doing. So he's able to pick up an easy first down with that old play that everybody uses. So here's a play that I like to use defensively. I'm going to go ahead and basically do it. Essentially, I've got these guys bunched up. I slide these guys over. So if he chooses to run the ball, I can actually do this. And what I do is I man up this guy right here with the cover 6, so he basically goes wherever he has. If there's any kind of a drag route underneath, this guy will match. And then I've got basically a cover 2 shell over here. And my responsibility is to look for any kind of route that crosses over the top of the field. So that's my responsibility, is to look for the crossing routes. So I think what he was doing is, I think he actually went with this type of a concept. It is like so. I don't know if he built off of that, but this is a play that I've actually used a lot myself. He's running play stock, and you can see he's looking for these routes right here. And essentially, I've got defenders that are falling into these zones. He takes off this quarterback with Daniels and actually gets a first down. So now I gotta be concerned about him running with his quarterback, because he actually makes a good decision with that. So runs essentially the same type of formation. I'm going to go and bunch my guys up. The reason I'm using cover 6 is because this guy plays a run fit, so he's going to come down and play it. I'm going to go ahead and QB contain to make sure that he can't get to the outside of me with my defenders. I'm going to go ahead and bring my guy in the box. And you can see right here, he does the same passing play, but right here I actually get myself a sack in that type of situation, get him in a 2nd and 10. Same setup once again. This guy's just run. He does a run play, and look how his offensive line just manhandles my guys. I pull myself out of position and come back to it, so my user was just not reacting because he was blending in play action, and I was anticipating him to start doing that because he did a couple of pass plays, but he's just destroying me with this duo. I'm just getting destroyed in the center of my defensive line with duo. He was just eating me up with that particular play, and I was having a hard time with it. So now he goes back to the tight end bunch formation. Let's see if I set this up correctly. I motion my guys over. I do have this guy in a set because I'm waiting for this particular pass play to happen, and I've got the defense set up for it. And I think this is where he actually goes ahead and jumps into like another play right here. It's just an RPO / jet sweep. He picks up another 9 yards. I just couldn't stop this guy's run. I was having such a hard time with it. Now he goes into a tight formation. I figured I'm just going to blitz the house, and one of the adjustments I did is I wanted to make sure that I have some run fits out here, but I've also got some fits or some passing plays. I'm going to be giving up basically the underneath of this formation. Pull my guys down. I think I pulled the other safety down. They get into the box. And let's see what he does. He does just another one of these auto motion run plays, which essentially is a wing. And I get myself out of position. And the one guy whiffed me on the block, and he's able to go and fall forward for a first down, getting the ball down in the end zone. So he actually falls in, gets the ball in the end zone, and now I'm actually in a situation where I've got to get a stop. So I come out of 26 out jacks. That's my responsibility. He's going to go ahead and do either basically a QB dive or basically something to the outside. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bunch these guys up. I'm going to bring them up. And then what I need to do is fill in the gap. So I'm going to crash the defensive line down so he can't hit this. And then I'm going to lead this guy into a blitzing formation. I did have him in a spy previously, but I'm going to go ahead and just let him blitz because he's already hit me a couple times with the line. I'm going to go ahead and drop myself down in the box and mug, basically not allowing him to do the outside. And you can see actually go ahead and get pressure right there and get him a stop. Once I see the clock right here, it's basically me chewing the clock down. So I almost gave this guy the opportunity to get the ball back. But, it's one of those milk and cookies times where this guy didn't have the best defense. I'm able to go ahead and chew him out and get a win. So, guys, I wanted to share this with you. Once again, guys, thanks for support. I have another gameplay of me running over against a pass-first type person. You can see me getting a lot of stops with that. But this guy, run-first people are just very, very difficult to stop. So I'll show you some more gameplay video of how I ad-libbed. Once again, thank you to my Patreon for supporting my channel. If you guys want to see my ebooks or breakdowns, I've got a bunch of stuff posted on my Patreon that are all conceptual and you guys can look at. So thank you for your support, guys. Until next time.